What is going on, my Ninja Clan? This is your Grandmaster NikkNitro, and today I'll be showcasing my controller that I use for my videos I've been uploading on YouTube. This is probably one of the most important ninja tools in my ninja arsenal. It is the Mixbox by Mixboxarcade.com. And so, as you can see with this controller, it has the traditional arcade face buttons, but then instead of a joystick, it actually has these arrow keys or WASD keys that you would find on a keyboard. Now, the thing is, the reason why I got this Mixbox per se as my main controller for fighting games, it's because personally, I cannot get used to using those joysticks that you see on normal fight sticks, which actually majority of fighting game players who use arcade boxes do use. This is actually one of the more unconventional ways to use an arcade box, and for me it suits to my preference because for some reason my wrists don't move that way and I can never get the arm motion of the joystick down. But I do love using my fingers for button pressing, especially for keyboards and whatnot. And so I figured that if I like pressing the arcade buttons, but I also prefer the keyboard, this was the absolutely perfect tool for me to use to achieve that. So purchasing this did come from mixboxarcade.com, which I will have the website on the link in the description below. This is a standard edition, so it came to about 250 US dollars. And the parts that I bought to customize my Mixbox per se was an additional $80. So in total, this came to about 330 US dollars. Now the specifications of the Mixbox is that this actually is about 2.2 kilograms or 5 pounds. And there's a cable in the back over here, which is measured about 3 meters or about approximately 10 feet. So it can reach definitely for, like, if you're sitting on a sofa and the TV's far away, it can reach your PlayStation 4. So the artwork that you see on the Mixbox is it's not the original artwork for this Mixbox that it came with. It's actually a customized artwork by my good friend King Cobb, which I have his Instagram right over here. This is originally done by him. As you can see, his signature is right here. This is an original by King Cobb. He's a cool guy. Definitely check him out. Artwork is definitely one of a kind. Arts that I've never seen before. Definitely check out King Cobb. So with this, I got this laser printed with a few extras because just in case I messed up. And this is all under a plexiglass, which is easily removable. So you can definitely customize your artwork for a Mixbox with relative ease. So now next, the main uniqueness of this Mixbox is the WASD or arrow keys here. And originally these came with Cherry MX red switches, which actually have a linear feel with no sound to them. Personally, I did not like that. I actually kind of wanted to have that tactile feedback, that click sound like you hear on a typical mechanical keyboard. So I actually purchased from my local gaming PC store 16 Cherry MX blue switches for about $10 in total. There was no soldering involved in this with the modification, and just a little bit of ingenuity, and eventually I was able to get these keys to have that tactile clicking sound, which I find at most satisfying. It may annoy my opponents, but at least for me, I'm enjoying it. Next, we have the face buttons here. So the face buttons here, originally these came with Sanwa Denshi OBSF 30mm or 1.18 inch easy snap in buttons. They're the very typical standard arcade buttons that you would feel, for on arcade boxes. The most common buttons, Japanese style buttons. You can never go wrong with those. It's probably the most reliable amongst fight stick users. Personally, I do not like those buttons. They're very quick and responsive and very loud, clacky sound. I personally don't like that. I kind of like to have that hard, long travel, long activation, tactile feedback. So that's why I ordered these buttons, which are gamer finger buttons, 30mm or 1.18 inches, screw-in buttons with the black body and red plunger caps. And I ordered about 8 of them, which came to about 45 US dollars. So it's a little bit on the pricier side, but for quality buttons such as these, it's definitely understandable, especially the fact that in these buttons, they don't actually have the typical actuators on them. They actually have micro switches that you find on mechanical keyboards inside these buttons, and you can customize them to whatever micro switch you want. So I took the liberty of using the blue MX micro switches that I purchased, as I mentioned earlier, and I put it into these buttons, and so now even my arcade buttons have that tactile clicking sound, which I find so satisfying. Next, we have the side buttons right here. So the side buttons, which are on the right side and the front, are actually the buttons for right here are the R3, touchpad, and L3 buttons. And then here you have the option button, PS button, share button, and turbo button. Turbo button, we can, definitely ignore that for now. These buttons all originally came with 30mm Crown Samduxa 201 buttons. And so I switched those out for these Crown Samduxa SDB 202 buttons with the black body and the red cap on these. And the difference between those buttons and these ones is that these also have computer or keyboard micro switches that you find on mechanical keyboards, except instead of blues, I actually put Cherry MX silvers into these buttons, so like it has more of a linear feel, a quieter sound to it. Because for me, the side buttons, I feel as though they're just for utility, for like, pressing pause or resetting your position in practice mode. And so I kind of like the lighter touch to it, so there's no click to this. It's just a quick light touch to it, and I feel that's much more my preference. Some additional modifications I made to my Mixbox is that right here where the cable actually comes out, I actually inserted Velcro so that it's actually easy access to the cable inside right here. Because the thing is, this cap actually is not attached to the Mixbox itself. So I actually had to attach it myself with these Velcros. And actually there was a snap tab in here before, but the thing is, it started getting worn out because I was constantly opening this up every so often. And the thing is, yeah, it wore out pretty fast, and so eventually I ended up removing the snap tab altogether and just inserted the Velcro for here to make it easy access as often as I want. It was especially useful when I'm just cleaning up and quickly inserting this into my PS4, or when I'm in tournaments and I'm definitely just going from station to station really quickly, and this is easy access right here. Originally, when I got the Mixbox, underneath there were actually 4 pegs right here, rubber foot pegs. The thing is, I actually put this on my lap, so I actually removed those pegs so that this is just flat on my lap, and so I can just rest my hands on it naturally. And that's also why I got the WASD keys at a 12-degree slant, so that actually my hands are in a natural resting position whenever I'm playing this, when this is on my lap. So this is absolutely perfect for me. So overall with the Mixbox, do I recommend buying the Mixbox? I say it's a very good product if you really want it. If you really want a product like this, then you will not be disappointed. But honestly, you have to think about your preferences when it comes to controllers. Because when it comes to controllers, the only reason why we end up buying these unique style controllers, it's because it gives us maximum comfort that satisfies our personal needs and preferences. Because everybody knows that the more comfortable that you are while you're playing a game, the better that you'll perform. And that's all this is really for. So this personally, it's what makes me the most comfortable, rather than using a PS4 DualShock 4 controller for fighting games. So that's why this is the controller I use for most of the fighting games that I play on a competitive level, and I have not regretted it ever since I purchased this, and I am very happy with this. And it's what I've been using, for my YouTube videos, especially for Mortal Kombat, and this is what I definitely got used to, what I love, and I am very happy with it. That's it for the showcase of this controller. Next, for the last part of this video, I'll just be showing basic combos on fighting games that I typically play, so you can see, how it looks like when I play it. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Just leave in the comments below if you have anything to say, any requests that you may have. I have my own Reddit profile, so a link to my Reddit profile is on the description below. So look for the appropriate subreddit that pertains to you, and just leave all your comments and anything you want to say there on my Reddit profile.
万死一戦全て覚悟。これでおしまい。さような
俺は成長を続ける。心地よい眠りにつかせて育っていくのさ。次の一発でお前は確実に消滅する。
光を味わえ。